Hey everybody out there, this is Seto, and today for you guys we are going to do a top 5 video of my top 5 cards I would like to see off the ban list. Because we are in the Christmas season right now, I decided to make my Christmas list of the top 5 cards I would actually like to see come off the ban list. Now, I'm not saying all these cards should come off the ban list, but I would like to see them come off the ban list actually when I come to think about it, and maybe one day they will come off the ban list and I can rejoice and thank Santa Claus, Konami, that they came back. So without further ado guys, let's get started. At number 5 we have Sangan. Now Sangan is a card that recently got an errata change a couple of months ago in the OCG. We've had massive reprints of Sangan in the Legendary Dex 2 and in a set, I forget what it's called, the Pharaoh set or something like that, back in August or September it was. So it's had a massive reprint, and most likely it will come off the ban list with the errata, probably on the next ban list. Now, I really want to see Sangan come back, not just because it's actually a pretty good card, even with the errata, but the nostalgia factor is there, and also the fact of the matter is, 'twas no greater love story than that of Sangan and Torguide. Now, before Sangan had his divorce from Witch of the Black Forest, when she had to go to jail, which is the ban list, he fell in love with this Torguide from the underworld, and they wreaked havoc back in the early days of the Exceed era. And then Sangan got banned, and then Torguide went and hung out with all those crazy people from the Burning Abyss. And now with Sangan back from rehab, maybe they could fall in love together once again. That's a true love story, guys. That's a true love story. The best love story in all of Yu-Gi-Oh! So without further ado, guys, let's get up to our number 4 card I would like to see off the ban list, that being Solemn Judgement. Now, Solemn Judgement is a card I would really like to see come off the ban list. I mean, really, really like to see. I love this card. I've even done a discussion on this card a couple weeks ago. It's a very good, powerful card. There's no doubt about that at all. However, I always liked the card. I used to play it in Horus the Black Flame Dragon level 8 builds back in the day. And the funny thing is, back in the day, people thought Solemn Judgement was a bad card. They thought paying half your life points was bad. Don't play this. It came out of Metal Raiders and nobody played it back then, believe it or not. You look at Scapegoat format decks, nobody played it. It was at 3. You look at early hero decks, that's when it started turning, and by the 5Ds era, people really found out that Solemn Judgement was a broken card. But for a long time of Yu-Gi-Oh's history, it was at 3 and nobody really played it. And I loved playing it because it was kind of people that I had talked to at locals and at regionals that knew what they were doing said, this is a broken card. Think about it. You negate everything, you make a board that's powerful, and you negate everything that your opponent does. So I ran in things like Horus the Black Flame Dragon as a 3F. People thought I was a bad player, but once they saw it being activated in the way I used it, it was a great card. So I would love to see it back so I could play it with the Solemn Brigade. I mean, with the new Harpy's Feather Duster maybe coming back because the new card that got released in the OCG, maybe we'll see it back in the future, maybe like in a year or so perhaps. But they have it at 1 at the one in the OCG, and you look at right now, people are really not playing it that much over in the OCG. So I would like to see what they would do over here in the TCG as a 1-of. If they brought if they brought Heavy Storm back or Harpy's Feather Duster back, you could bring this back because that can negate that Heavy Storm from ruining your back row, kind of like a Starlight Road, which was kind of what Solemn Judgement was used as a 1-up for some people back in the day when Heavy Storm was around. But yeah, I would love to see this card come back, guys. At number 3, I have a card that I hate, but I also love this card with a passion, that being Chaos Emperor Dragon, Envoy of the End. I want to see this card come back. I really, really want to see this card come back, and I really don't want to see this card come back because even with the errata text that they have over in the OCG, I would love to see this card back. There's another card that almost made this list, but I didn't quite put it on the list, and that's Future Fusion as well, because using Future Fusion and Blue Eyes White Dragon would be broken, and I just couldn't see that card ever coming back, and I would hate it more than I would love it. But Chaos Emperor Dragon, I could see a love-hate relationship with it. I could maybe play it in some dark light-based decks, kind of like what I would do with BLS, and it would give me, it would probably bring back some dark light-based decks around in the Yu-Gi-Oh community, maybe Light Swarm variations that are not Minerva Swarm, but just other type of builds. It would make people maybe think about running darks and lights more, and with Lure Darkness, maybe you see some things with that, but Then again, maybe that would cause Allure of Darkness to be too broken because Darks would come back in the game. I really don't know and can't say for sure, but I would just like to see this card back in the game. It's a very nostalgic card. It was one of the first cards ever banned. It was on the first ban list back in 2004, I think it was, or 2003. I think it was 2004, excuse me. So it's been on the ban list for many, many years. I remember when it got banned, I remember picking up one and then it got immediately banned almost. I was kind of like, oh, ban list, we didn't know about this. But I'd like to see it come back with the errata. It still would be a powerful card, and I'd like to see what decks would play it. Next up for my number 2 slot, I have Construct. El Shadar Construct. I love this card. This card is Bay. This card is life. Construct makes the world go round. Now, Construct is a broken card to some degree, but it's at 1 in the OCG right now. And I would love to see Construct come back to at least 1 over here in the TCG. Maybe, I think it's slowly getting overpowered. I mean, it's a big booty. She has a big attack. She's a good card. She's the main power pusher of Shadal's. Shadal's have been nothing with Construct being at 1. Even though we have less stuff banned over here than the OCG, you don't really see Shadal's being played unless they're in Shadal trains and other variations, but you just think if Construct was at 1, it would make that deck so much better. It probably wouldn't make it top tier, but it would make it a better deck, and I really want to see her come back because I loved her playing her for the time I got to play her for after Duelist Alliance era. She was such a good card. She put in so much work. She was beautiful. Just artwork. I just loved her so much, and I want to see Falco be able to bring her back. And just, I want to see this card come back, guys. Really, really bad. Some people hate her probably still. I understand, but I still want to see her come back. And my number 1 card that I would love to see off the ban list now, guys, is a card that I'm going to get a lot of hate for, but then I have to point to you what they've done in the OCG already and what is it doing. And that is Gateway of the Six Samurai. It is at 3 over in the OCG right now. Gateway is at 3 in the OCG, and Sheen, I think, is at 2 or 3 over there as well. Why in heaven's name isn't it not at 1 over here? It's the same thing I look at Wind-Up Zenmaier, the Carrier, Wind-Up Zenmighty Carrier. That's at 3 in the OCG. We don't have it. It's still banned. What would Six Samurais do with Gateway? I mean, maybe it's because they have Heavy Storm over there, and they have Harpy's Feather Duster over there, but we also have Twin Twister, which could easily stop Gateway. You see it on the field, okay, flip the Twin Twister, stop that shenanigans right then and there. So I'm kind of like, maybe does Konami hate Six Samurais? Maybe the OCG loves samurais more because of Bushido and the Japanese culture. But I really want to see Gateway back at 1 minimum, maybe 2 or 3. People say it's a sack card. It makes Six Samurais win. What do you expect? Six Samurais to go to the next YCS with Gateway at 3 and win the event against today's meta like ABC and whatnot? I mean, the only thing I could see possibly is making anti-meta variations with Six Samurai. Maybe you play the Samurai to stop the ABC field spell going first. I mean, maybe that's what you plan. But I don't see it being top of the meta. I would see it being Six Samurais being a tier 2 deck, tier 3 deck maybe, but mostly tier 2, a good solid deck, and be maybe an anti-meta type of deck, but they wouldn't be top of the meta like they were when Gateway was at 3. We've seen Konami bring cards back like this, but I'm just really waiting for the day that Gateway gets put back to 1, and then it doesn't do anything, and then you put it to 2, and then you put it to 3. Because unless Konami's got plans to bring more, legendary Six Samurai support, which I would love to see, I doubt Gateway's going to do anything. Same thing goes for Royal Tribute for Gravekeepers, but that's a limited card, because that's at 3 over in the OCG, and we don't have it. It's at 1 still over here for us, so I'm kind of like waiting for some of these older cards like Hornet and stuff like that to maybe start coming back to us, because it's been a couple of years now. Maybe these older cards can start coming back to us and we can start playing these decks not competitively but just for fun, and maybe play them at locals for competitively, or regionals, and maybe make wonky builds, anti-meta stun type of decks with these older decks that we love and enjoyed back in the day. And that's what I want to see. I want decks to be good, not unplayable because Konami banned everything and you can't play it. So those are just my thoughts from a raving man to lunatic who loves Six Samurais with a passion, and it's my second favorite deck of all time, right behind GK's. So till next time, guys, take care, have fun, good luck dueling, good luck, have fun. I'm tongue tied. Have fun, good luck dueling, and I'll see you guys next time. And tell me, guys, what cards would you like to see come off the ban list? Till next time, guys, take care, and I'll see you guys next time.